Let me share with you why I'm never going to stop being in therapy in today's video. Occasionally some of my friends may say, why are you still in therapy? You're a licensed therapist, so is there really a need to still be in therapy? And there's two reasons for that, and I want to talk about this today because it's important for all of us in terms of how you view therapy. Maybe you're in therapy already or you're thinking about starting. So number one, I think it's important for any therapist out there, whether they're a clinical social worker, a licensed marriage family therapist like myself, a psychiatrist, a drug or alcohol counselor, whatever they are, it's important that we keep up with our own stuff, because if we don't, there's a chance we may bring that into the therapy with our clients. That's a big no-no, and it's an ethical concern because we're there to focus on the needs of our clients. If we're having a bad week, or we had a breakup in our life, or a family member who's currently very ill and we're concerned about them, or anything that anybody goes through that causes stress and frustration, including just the social political climate out there today, if we're not keeping up with our own stuff, then that may impact the kind of therapy we're able to offer. That's not fair. So we need to be very grounded and be aware of where we're at with our own feelings in terms of processing them, sharing them, working through them in order to be grounded for our clients. So an analogy may be somebody seeking out, for example, a personal trainer to get in shape, to lose some weight. That's a great goal. Likely when they're looking for a personal trainer, it's fair for them to want a trainer who's also in shape and fit and takes care of themselves. It's not a requirement, but if you meet your personal trainer and they come out and they're 400 pounds and out of shape and munching on a snack as they talk to you, do you want to see them? You could if you want to, but are you going to be getting the best guidance from somebody who's in this kind of shape if you're looking to shape up? It's a reasonable question, nothing to do with a judgment or looking down on somebody. So in the same vein, it's the same thing with a therapist. Ethically, it's important for therapists to keep up with their own stuff, so in some way they don't sabotage the therapy. Also, therapists are human, obviously, so we can be triggered by our own clients. We need to be able to be aware of that trigger and not let it influence someone else's progress or any potential decision they're going to make. So, for example, let's say there's a therapist who's very anti-abortion. They've started working with a 35-year-old female who's coming in to make a decision as to whether she wants to have her baby or not. That's her decision. If a therapist is heavily triggered by that and starts to somehow influence her, that's not fair. She's coming in for an objective, safe space for her to look at the pros and cons. The therapist, and rightly so, may have their own personal opinions about that. That's fine, but they don't want that to seep into the therapy. This is the client's work. It's up to her to figure out what works best in her life. And another reason I'm in therapy, because I don't ever really want it to stop. It's fantastic. I started in my own therapy about 35 years ago, and I still love it to this day. And because I had emotional trauma in my childhood, that doesn't just end at some point. Therapy oftentimes is like peeling off the layers of an onion. We find more and more about ourselves. There's so much to discover. We're going through new and different stages in our life, new relationships, new friendships, perhaps new goals, new things are happening in the world that are impacting us. It's constantly fluid. Everything's changing. I view it as a continual upward spiral, a wonderful growth pattern that can benefit all of us in our life. How I view it is, think about people who always make sure 1 hour a week they're getting their nails done, or going to the hair salon, or going to the personal trainer, or going to the gym, are going to a yoga class, are going to their art class. Whatever it is, why would we not want to take 1 hour a week to go and just simply process our feelings, what's going on in us? Feelings, emotions, strong reactions, we're not sure about where they come from. Triggers, joys, sadness. Life is a continual cornucopia of this. So the more we are in touch with our feelings and share them, the less chance we're going to go off in any kind of symptoms. So for example, somebody who's repressing a lot of anxiety, has a lot of fears, a lot of stressors, and they're just thinking, I can get through this, I can get through this. They're keeping everything in. That could be from their childhood training to just believe that you don't talk about your own stuff with anybody else. And this is very likely to lead to someday some kind of symptom like anxiety disorders, panic attacks, phobias, night terrors, and then maybe a strong desire to numb it all. So then a building desire to go and have some alcohol or use drugs, just something to numb all this. We have to be aware of the potential spiral and where it may take us. And for me personally, I'm always working to some degree on emotional pain from the past. Trauma is always challenging to work with. But the more we welcome it in terms of, yeah, let me look at this, let me hold it and work through it, then we're more apt to have a lot of self-compassion and self-love for ourselves, which then helps us be more grounded and more joyous in our life. Make sense? I hope so. Those are my 2 reasons for continuing to be in therapy. How about you? What do you think about all this? Are you in therapy yourself? Do you see it as being short-term or long-term? Let me know some of your thoughts and feelings down in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.